Hello, Diargos here. Welcome back to my Factorio series, the Manhattan Project. Okay, so we were having some power issues, right? Because we put up all these beacons here. You can't see them because the radar is turned off. I disconnected power to this area, the Oak Ridge facility that's under construction right now. And in the meantime, I was adding a lot more these super solar arrays. You can see there's some under construction right now. We'll continue to expand that westward. I also did some filling in of the landfill down here in the south, and you can see I have these strips of water. They're single square strips that I'm leaving behind just so that I can still fill this in and have places where I can connect water pipes. And there's plenty of room for pipes to go up and down, and if I ever need to, I can fill this back in a different way or something like that. Okay, so my plan now is to start uranium mining because I want to use nuclear power to help supplement the solar power that we have in our base, because those beacons are going to take up a lot, right? And so now's a good time to actually start this process. And there's going to be a couple things we need to do before we even start messing with the reactors. What we first have to do is process the uranium ore, right? So I have a bunch of stuff that we've already set up in prior episodes and we're designing. Here, let's put my roboports back in for now. I've got the heat pipes, the heat exchangers, right? The nuclear reactors. We're not going to use any of those yet because in order to do those, we have to make fuel cells, and we're not even going to make fuel cells right now. All we're going to do is try to process some of the uranium-238 that we're going to mine and get that in to become 235, because that's the stuff that you need for the fuel cells for the reactor, right? So if you look at a reactor, we can actually look at some of these things. Let's get some light. That's what the reactor looks like. You can hook it up with the heat pipes. We'll do that, of course. It doesn't actually say what it takes here. That's pretty convenient. Does it say on here? Let's look. It doesn't. Okay. It does have a description there, though. Processes, yeah. And this one says, no, nothing. But anyway, that's what you need. So you need the nuclear fuel cells that we'll make in these plants here. But first, we got to process the uranium ore, right? So when you're mining the uranium ore, this stuff right here, you get a ton of 238, which can be used in some of the less delicate stuff, like I think creating the uranium rounds, right, and the uranium ammo. Pretty much everything but the atom bomb, I think, can take uranium-238. But you get a ton of it when you mine, and you only get a tiny bit, like really tiny, unbelievable. Like however tiny you think it is, it's tinier than that by a factor of like 1,000, probably, right? You have to process a ton of ore to get this. But there's good news, because a centrifuge can process that ore, right, uranium ore processing, but can also do a couple of other things, and one of them is this Covarex enrichment process. And you can see if I put in 40 uranium-235, which is the rare stuff, I get back 41. So I can actually produce uranium-235 from 238. Now this is the actual enrichment process that goes on with nuclear power, right? So yeah, it costs some. You can see it's going from 5 to 2, so it costs like 3 of the 238, but that's nothing because we're going to have so much of it. By the time we actually get 40 235, we'll have plenty to spare. And then the other thing we can do is after these nuclear fuel cells have been used by the reactors, we can kind of recycle them and get some 238 back out of them, and then recycle that back into 235. Okay, so before we do anything, though, we need to actually have uranium ore, right? So my idea is to have a processing facility in this region here on this side of the map, kind of maybe down here, which means I need to cut off some power so that I can separate these two because I want to have this running. And the way that I'm going to do it is if we look on the map, we can see there's little pockets of uranium all over the place, right? And I want to actually start mining all of these. And I want to do it logistically, right, with the bots, the way that I'm doing this here. The problem is that uranium mining requires sulfuric acid to actually do the mining, right? It's not just electricity. It requires, if you look, it looks a little different once you put it down there. It's the same electric mining drill, just looks different. But you can see there's a pipe here for sulfuric acid, right? So it takes a little bit of that. So obviously the one way I can do this is up here at my oil processing facility, which is not complete yet, of course. I am producing a lot of sulfuric acid, but you see it's getting used up right now by the base, so I probably need to expand this out as well. But I don't want to pipe this just all over the base, right? And what about like up here, over here? Am I just gonna have pipes of sulfuric acid everywhere? And that's one way to do it, but I don't like that idea. So what I was thinking is nowadays in Factorio, you can actually barrel these liquids, barrel all the liquids. So just like I would have a mining blueprint like this, where I can just drop down a bunch of miners with provider chests, I was thinking I'd have another little blueprint for all of these deposits. Maybe like if there's too close, I can share one. And what it would do is basically receive or request, right, barrels of sulfuric acid. So we could say we want to empty it, right? And this one would request the barrels of sulfuric acid. I think that's it. And put it into here, and then this one would pipe out this, and it would go into that. And by the way, once you have these, if you have them hooked up like that, you can see they'll share their sulfuric acid. So, I mean, this is pretty simple little design to do, right? It's not too hard. And what it would do is it would output, input barrels of sulfuric acid and output empty barrels, which would then be requested back up, wherever they're being bottled up, right? Or barreled up, rather. So this is kind of the plan. And yeah, so let's get started with that. But before I even do this part, what I need to do, so I want to enrich it, but before I can enrich it, I need to mine it. Before I can mine it, I need to actually have the sulfuric acid available and barreled up. So let's start with that, right? So it's a multi-step process, but that's just to get to enrichment, and then there's nuclear power, which actually probably be the easiest part once we have everything else. Look at this tree. What are you doing? Oh, great. Now I have wood on me. Okay, so the cool thing is we've got a bunch of empty barrels already. But we'll probably want to automate that production somehow. And you are... What are these, full? Okay, so those are full now. Interesting. Just gonna come check on this. It's been a while. Petroleum gas is looking pretty good because it's got all of this to draw on, right? I want to make sure stuff isn't getting backed up. It looks like petroleum gas is what's getting backed up, and especially now that these are close to being full again, because I'm dumping stuff out. So, okay, well, right here is a bunch of requester chests, and we don't want requester chests anymore. We want them to be used for the mining only, right? So we'll probably want to make steel barrels. The problem with this is that you can risk getting backed up. If I just kept making them, right? Eventually, for example, this chest would fill up because all their requester chests are filled up because there's just like more and more and more. There's too many than the system can handle. This would fill up, and then this whole system would stop working. It'd be backed up. So I need to kind of just, I guess, fiddle with the amount and see what works. I probably will add I almost certainly will add something down here, not in science, but like over there for steel barrels, but we have enough to start with, right? Now, I think I definitely need to turn these off, but I'm gonna leave them on for now because they're being used by this. I have to have at least one chest requesting. Okay, so that leaves the actual, here we go. The sulfuric acid is not great. The issue here. Why is this guy not running? You're backed up. You're backed up, but you're backed up. So these are all backed up, so there's a problem right there. Okay, so I'm standing on it. So this is the problem. This whole time, when I expanded this out, all of these ran once, filled up their pipes, and then that's it. And this whole base the whole time has been running on these 4. Okay, so it's a bug in the system. It's unfortunate. Obviously it wasn't fatal because stuff has still worked and we still had enough of the acid, but hopefully now you can see that number's already higher as this stuff dumps out its acid. And I also kind of need to look at this and make sure that this stuff isn't consuming too much of it. I don't think it will. Sulfur goes a long way, a little bit. You can see it's already backing up again. Or is it? Yeah, I guess it's kind of backing up. Okay, so what I need to do is I still want, coming down here for batteries. It looks like batteries are just sucking everything up. And which is what we need. We need solar accumulators, right? But I do want to take some stuff off this line. So here it is right here. Very low. So I can either take it directly off the line or I can have some dedicated ones. Like say make the last few on this line can go over here maybe. And come down here. It'll make it harder to scale this stuff up though. But it might be nice to have dedicated stuff. I could build it up here actually. Because I don't need a lot. All I just need to do is basically a barreling station, right? So let's see if we can make something here. Okay, so we'll start with one assembler. And we see that it takes 1 second to fill sulfuric acid barrel. Do I really want to spend resources on speeding that up? I don't know. We can start with this. Okay, so we need a barrel and we need the sulfuric acid. Okay, so we'll probably start with a pipe like this, and we might do something like 4 of these. Okay. And what we need now are requester chests. And these requester chests are going to request empty barrels, right? And I think this is the only place I'm doing this right now, so you can max that out. And then they'll output and in fact I kind of want more availability, right? Okay, so we're gonna go like this. Then we'll put we'll have 2 to 1. Even though that's not a ratio or anything. It's just they'll keep being able to put in some, right? Empty barrels. I'd rather have this stack up than the empty barrels. Is what my point is. Okay, so you go in, you come out, you go in, you come out, and I see no reason not to barrel these completely, like just to leave them wide open. We'll see if that hurts us. But if it's only coming from like dedicated chemical plants, then I don't see the problem. Okay, so you need empty barrels. Okay, are we actually in range of a network? Yeah, we are. I'll put some roboports down around this for its flight path, right? And we can that and get some lights. Oh, too many lights. All right, now, so it was running on 4 before, but I wanted to expand it, so that's double. Maybe I can take 4 of these at the end, and I would do that just by cutting this off. Okay, so now we can see these will fill up. Very slowly, I guess. All right, we can try that. And we'll come over here. Say like right here. Oops. Close. Not quite lined up. Walking room there. Okay. Now we should see these fill up. Now there's no requester chests. I mean, there's no provider chests for the barrels. That's the problem. So I mean, they'll take it from that one, but I want to kind of empty these. So what I can do is just pick them up and change them to provider chests. And since I don't care about this backing up so much and it's still a provider chest here, I'll let this just kind of run. And if it backs up, I mean, this is almost full, so I don't really need to empty these. There's no rush. Okay, so now let's actually speed this up a bit. I think one of the problems is, yeah, so when I cut off the other base, some of the bots got split up. Okay, did I grab a bot? No, I didn't. Alright, so we can see we've got sulfuric acid being barreled, ready to be used. So that's step 1. Very nice. And we might scale this up somehow. We'll see. I want to just, let me look real quick before I go. Looks like the problem is nowhere close to enough of the sulfuric acid, right? So that I had 1, 2, 3, 4 to begin with. 1, 2. And start like right here. Just give them 2. Since I mean the base was running on 4, so now it's got 6. We'll add a few to that. I think I had adding 3, and then we can scale this out a bit more as well. Copy something like this. Enough. And pull that up for a second. Okay, drop that down. That's hooked up now. Make sure water gets hooked up and stuff. All right. So we've added a few more. This won't. Oh no, they had the pipes on already, so it's fine. Okay, guys are taking a while. Water's pretty low. I think I just have this one water pipe. I wonder if anything is having problems with water filling up. Yeah, so there is a little bit of a delay on the water. So we can add some more water, I think. Where am I bringing it from? Looks like it's coming from up here, and then a bit to the left. Okay, yeah. Alright, we'll just add... Oh boy, oh, he's going all the way around the base. So I've heard that, and this could be true right now, that water doesn't always travel the greatest over really long distances. So maybe that's true. So let's add a pump. Where are the pumps? They get moved around. What am I? Pump? Hello? Water pump. Come on. Where's the water pump? It's always like right here, but now there's like more stuff and I haven't made one in so long. Oh, there they are, right there. Okay. All right. I know I've got a bunch of these elsewhere, but whatever. Since we're not using this area anymore, we can just kind of cut straight through, I think. And we'll put 2 down because I want to just rehook up the other one, basically. All right, I'm gonna do that, and then to make this a little faster. Okay, there. Okay. I swear my bots are like on vacation or something. Hello? Oh, come on. Oh, I'm out. Okay, well, that could be a problem. Oh, man. You know, I have this on request. That's okay. We'll go find some more, and in the meantime, I'm going to end the episode here. In the next episode, we can just continue right where we left off, setting up probably some uranium miners and stations and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.